And I think we've now really come to the end, and we've come to the closing. And so I would like to invite our regional director emeritus, who has really been with us all the time, sitting, cheering us on, championing us, and Minister Sikut, our gracious hostess.
Well, good afternoon. Me again. And now I am speaking for myself. I have no paper prepared in advance. I'm speaking on behalf also of Hans because we are sharing a lot of views, value, and visions. So I say to myself, what will I say during this session? And what came first to my mind was the recommendation of Stacey Brooke yesterday morning. You close your eyes and you think what passionates you. And I added during this meeting, what will I bring back during, that was the question this afternoon. Of course, I have not many implementation to do, but the two words that came to my mind are, I am impressed and I am happy. Well, I understand it's not a really scientific evaluation, even if I learned that you can measure a lot of things that you don't think you could, so happiness is probably one of them. I am impressed and happy, but I remember that Vesna and Doris told us not to speak words to please the audience. So I agree with that. And it's true that I'm impressed and happy, and I will explain why. I am impressed, first of all, by the persistence and the movement in the implementation of the content of the Tallinn Charter. It's good to feel 15 years later that you are not still forgotten. But I'm mainly impressed by the transformation on how health leaders and governors are changing. They are transformed from what they were 15 years ago. I will tell you, it came to my mind yesterday during the session with the ministers when Minister Nemerenko, I don't know her first name, I know now they call you Rina. I was also, it's a big change to call a minister by first name when you are WHO staff. So I don't know exactly your first name, the Minister of Health of Moldova, but when you said, truly, the situation of your country, I was amazed because 15 years ago, it was forbidden, or at least not allowed to be self-critical. Everything was rosy. We were the best. The ministers were the best ministers. The country had no problem of the health system, etc., etc. And I felt at that time it would be better if we could have truth. If people were able, including WHO, to say that not everything is perfect. So when I listen to you, Minister of Moldova, I say, she's not, I know her for a long time. She's not English mother tongue, I'm not English mother tongue, so perhaps I did not catch the point. But after when I heard the other minister also self-criticizing what they were doing, I felt time is changing. And in the afternoon, during the session led by Rob, a surgeon said we were wrong. So again, I felt time is changing. And I felt also, I hope there will not be too much self-criticism, criticism themselves, because there need to be a level where the other will start to untrust. So, but it's a good change. So, I will tell you 3 short things that impressed me also. First of all, the case studies. Gowden, I'm so pleased. During long time, I tried to push for that. Do case studies. This is a fantastic tool for politicians to be able to compare, to see what is good, what is not good, and to be able to compare themselves with others. Can I give you a little advice? Most probably it is not, but I dare to tell you, Gowden, perhaps the next stage would be to have a sort of guideline that all the case studies are built with some basis that are the same to be useful and comparable. But I'm almost sure that you have thought about that before. The second nice thing that I liked, and it was true this afternoon, is the link between science and decision. It was always, for me, the idea that WHO was useful if we could rely on strong basis, scientific basis. I am not myself scientific, and I think at the end of a conference like that, I can give you some memory. At my age, we have a lot of memories. I asked Joseph, when I was appointed, I knew him before, if he would be my director, my scientific director. I thought I was giving him a fantastic gift. And he said, no, Mark, I can be more useful if I continue with the observatory. He was right. But I am happy to see that the observatory is still very strong and very productive. The third point, okay, we don't have too much time, so I go fast. The third thing is the transformation of WHO. That is something very important for me. When I became regional director, I tried to summarize my vision, my campaign at that time also, and I said, well, WHO, we staff of WHO should be serving member states. And I remember, what a sentence, I received blame. We are not servants of member states. And, Mark, please don't make too much politics. I'm so happy to see that Hans Kluge has taken this at the center of his policy, to be close to member states, to listen to them, to visit them, and to try to respond by euro at their needs. So, in a way, this conference was really on trust and transformation, but it was not exactly what I felt when I read the title. And in a way, I adapted it to my personal needs. So, I would like now, as usual, at the end of a conference, to thank, but I think my thanks are very sincere. First of all, Rina, may I call you Rina? It's difficult for me. Okay. Minister Sikut. I could say, I want to say, I hope I am allowed to say things like that Estonia is lucky to have you as Minister of Health. You were my neighbor during the conference, and I hope I don't offend any person here, and I ask my French citizen not to quote me when you come back to France. I have never seen, or very rarely seen, a minister sitting 2 days in a conference and not using a cellular phone. No. Normally, a minister, when he or she is there, is always busy. It's nice to see ministers, perhaps it's a transformation also, that take time to listen. But also, Rina, you are lucky to be part of a beautiful country. And it is. And I know Estonia. It's not my first visit, and not even 15 years ago, I was not the first time in Estonia. And we had a lot, or many, and some are still here, Estonia and WHO staff. And my chief of cabinet at that time was Estonia, Kristina Bauer. So you have a beautiful country, very active. We could see that, thinking and trying to improve. I would like, second, to thank you, all the participants. You also. It's a transformation in a conference. You have been very serious, very present, and I'm sure you will bring a lot of things back in your country. But can I express, well, at my age I can do that, can I express a regret, not a reproach, but a regret? When I look this morning, your priorities, I agree totally. I don't know if Melita is there, with primary health care, number one, everybody and me in particular, but mental health so low. That was, at the beginning, by the way, you saw at the beginning it was very high, I was very pleased, but after, it's not a big regret, but I am sure that in 5 years, when you will celebrate the 20th anniversary, you will put mental health very high. With the situation we have now, the stress of the population, I'm sure that there is a lot to do to include mental health in primary health care. Now, the staff. I finish by that. I hope I am not too long. My former colleague, but still friend, Natasha. What a charismatic and inspiring leader you are. Really, I feel it. And of course, I associate Gowden, I will forget, it's a very crazy exercise to try to quote many people. So Rob, Gowden, don't be jealous, I have you also in my heart. I would like also, of course, to thank Suzanne, Faith, Christina and Lucia. They've taken care of me, you cannot believe. And now, it was a very new experience for me after 15 years to be so taken care of, and I thank you very much. And I thank all the WHO staff, but I thank them not on my behalf only. I'm sure you don't know. I will give you another secret. I'm working closely with Anne sometime, and very often he told me, Mark, you don't know how much I'm proud of my team. I tell you, it's the truth. I'm not lying. I heard him several times saying how proud he was to be a leader of a team like yours. So thank you to all, and good journey back home, and Happy New Year. But I have not totally finished. As one sentence, yesterday I felt I said something a bit wrong in a conference on evidence base to tell you that I was lying a bit or telling not totally the truth. I brought a picture. I hope it is here. It's Jarno who told it. That is the evidence that it was true that I signed the first charter, Italian charter. This is, we are two. So let me finish with you, Rina. I must confess that there was a previous Estonian minister in my life. I hope you will forgive me. Thank you very much.
There are some more thank yous to share, but first, Mark, you found the only Estonian who's a slow adopter of new technologies, who doesn't like the smartphones and prefers pen and paper. And that's why I was sitting next to you all this time. No, I understand. But also, it demonstrates it is the most important event we host in a 5 years' time, and we're all dedicated. Mark, you stepped in overnight. You filled such an important role, and now we got this very honest and personal account of the past 15 years and the transformation that you have witnessed. So everything is possible. WHO can change, Estonia can transform, but the ministers in Estonia are always pleasant. I also start with Hans and Hans's team. I know Hans put a lot of effort in organizing the event. I'm sorry he couldn't attend, but in 5 years' time, there's another opportunity. Also, the small team of Estonian country office, Kristina and Kerli, thank you. The observatory team, incredible policy briefs, a lot to read and think and take along. Also, my team in the ministry, particularly Triin, Ellen, Lisa, and Heli, thanks a lot, and everyone who worked behind the scenes to make everything run smoothly. I enjoyed yesterday's opening. I thought this will be the most emotional part of the conference, by the way. But the really sincere accounts of patients, the professional voices, it gave the right tone for these 2 days. And during the past 48 hours, I've been touched, I've been inspired. I really feel that I have new ideas to transform the Estonian system, but keeping in mind that you need to take small steps to constantly build trust. And you can fail, you can rethink, you can redesign, but you have to keep going, because otherwise nothing will get better. And we all need to deliver better for the money we use in healthcare, and we need to deliver better for our people. Now, you have noticed that we have no traditional gifts. It's because we don't want you to leave. We don't want you to leave without leaving a mark here. So, for every participant, we are planting a tree to transform a small bit of Estonian landscape. The tree will root in the Estonian soil, and we hope you come back in 5 years' time to find your tree. But now I kindly ask to play a small video.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of sustainability and deep appreciation for your contributions, we have chosen a unique approach to express our gratitude. Instead of traditional gifts, we have decided to contribute to the preservation of our planet by planting trees in the beautiful Estonian landscape. Each tree symbolizes not only our appreciation for your attendance, but also serves as a lasting commitment to environmental responsibility. This commitment aligns with our shared dedication to building resilient health systems that can withstand and adapt to the transformations necessary for a greener, more sustainable future. Your presence and engagement have been invaluable. We hope this eco-friendly gesture resonates with you. These trees, taking root in Estonian soil, signify the trust we place in sustainable practices for a resilient future and the transformative potential of our collaborative efforts.
And finally, special applause and thank you to a woman who's particularly versatile, flexible, thorough, and extremely committed to delivering you the best experience during the 2 days in Tallinn, Natasha Asopardi-Muscat.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Rina. Thank you all. But people who know me know that I don't know how to pause and say, okay, it's done, it's over. So just a few things. Some time ago, Hans told me, Natasha, I want to start an innovation. I want that in 48 hours, you give me 2 pages, key takeaway messages that I can send to anyone who asks me, what did you do at these big meetings and what are the key take-home messages? So thanks to a network of rapporteurs sitting in every room and May, who has pulled this together, I want to tell you that we have 2 sheets of take-home messages. I'm not going to read them now because I don't want to keep you, but we will post them very soon, and I hope that you will recognize in them the key messages that you have all been contributing to. But let me just say that I will echo, I think, what has been said by Natalia Dobrinina, where she said, we must go slowly, but never stop. So these are here, and you will be ready, and you can find them. The next thing is, I think, that we can really say history has once again been made, and of course we will take your kind offer to be here in 5 years' time, because we know there is going to be work to be made. Our souvenir to you is not so environmentally friendly. It's the outcome statement that we have crafted together. I hope you will find some space in the ministry for it. And if anyone still hasn't signed it, please do leave your name here in Estonia before leaving. Of course, we've heard that now is not the time for complacency. So we've coalesced our thoughts, experiences, and visions, and we are going to take this feedback forward almost immediately, because I know that Hans is very committed. We will take a small pause over Christmas, and in January, we will be using everything that has been discussed over here and all the preparations to submit a concept note to the Standing Committee for a new fit-for-purpose framework for resilient health systems. I believe it was the Swedish Minister, Ako, who said, please continue to push us. And of course, I have been listening, as I have been told to do, and we will offer this framework as, again, with our colleagues in Estonia, taking it forward, of course, through a whole process of consultation, and hopefully we will arrive together at Regional Committee 74 with the legacy of this meeting and taking it forward. Finally, you've seen me. I'm the face. I don't mind being on stage. Somebody asked me yesterday, you should work in television. I said, yes, I used to work in television a long time ago. But you haven't seen the team behind. Mark and Rina have already thanked, and I'd like to echo colleagues at Ministry of Health, Country Office, European Observatory, Health Policies and Systems, I think Dimi, Deepa, Marina, Martin, and John, the lead authors of the policy briefs. They worked like mad to get 5 policy briefs done. When Giuseppe said, we'll do 5 policy briefs, I said, do you want to kill yourself? I want us to have the best that we need for this conference. Thank God they were all here delivering successfully, but it's been a heavy lift. So thank you. And then, of course, the colleagues across the House, Mark, you mentioned Gordon and his team, Jill and Alison, but also Rob and his team, and all the people who contributed to all the sessions. The sessions you saw here across the House were not just the sessions from one technical division. It was really a pull across the House, also with contribution and support from the country offices. So for that, thank you very much. And then the core team. And the core team have been a number of people who have been really double tasking, because we built this over and above to their daily tasks. But when I ask, when I knock on people's doors, I always find the support that I need. But allow me to thank particularly two people who have carried a lot in terms of double burden, Olga and Marge, who I mentioned yesterday, who have basically doubled their load 200%. And then also other volunteers from within the division with the support of their bosses who release and help and told me, yes, you can have them to help and support. And I see that we have had Tyrone, we have had Clayton, we have had Jana. I've probably forgotten some people, but these were all people who have really been working behind the scenes. And then, of course, coming closer to where it burns, if I'm the fire, the closer you are to me, the more work you get. And so for the people who have been working very, very closely, I have to mention the communications team, Remy and Vinny, who have carried a lot. Thank you so much. I have to mention Lucia, who has been the admin, the spotter, the one who is always there to say when something needs to be done, I will do, I will do. And the person who, unlike me, does not like the limelight and the stage. You haven't seen him on stage, but anything that you have liked in the policy briefs, in the conceptualization of the conference, in the metaphor of the bricks and mortar, I am the mouthpiece, but the thinking has been done by my colleague, Govin. Thank you. Thank you.